So we're here with Caroline Lucas in the European Parliament. You've just made an intervention in the food policy and global warming debate discussion here. Would you tell us about that?
Basically what I was saying is that the measures that we need to tackle climate change certainly do include eating less meat, but there are also lots of other good reasons for doing that as well. So I was pointing out, for example, that if we eat less meat, that's good for our health. It's also good for animal welfare because the less intensive pressure we put on animal production, then the more likely they are to be able to be cultivated, grown in ways that are much more friendly for the animals themselves. But then I also made the point that if we're going to feed a growing population over the decades to come, then we're going to need to eat less meat, all of us, because there simply isn't enough grain if we're going to give it to animals to eat. There's not going to be enough grain to feed more and more people in the developing world. So essentially there are 4 very good reasons for eating less meat, and I hope very much that this meeting today will take those on board.
So today we're here to hear a request really from Paul McCartney that we should have meat-free Mondays, and all of us overfed Europeans should have less meat in our diet, and we should take 1 day a week without meat. Do you think that's going too far or not far enough?
I think it's a very good start. Personally, I'm a vegetarian. I think that there's a lot of scope for us not eating meat at all, but for many people that's too much, and it is a process. People change their views, their habits in a gradual way, and I think to start with saying, well, let's at least have 1 day without meat is entirely reasonable, because let's remember that this way in which we eat quite a lot of meat nowadays is something quite new. You know, in the older days, eating meat was more of a luxury. You might do it once or twice a week. I think we need to get back to something more like that kind of balance. I am concerned about farmers. I do want farmers to get a good living, but I think that people might eat less meat but pay a little bit more for it, better quality meat, eat it less frequently. That's a way of making sure that our farmers are kept on the land and have a good living, which I want them to have, but also to make sure that we're eating less meat and we're having less pressure on the world's environment and resources.
That's excellent. Thank you very much for your time.